So see, today we are going to start a new model, that is an model number 3, measurements of screw threads and gears. Okay, so in this module you are going to calibrate the threading measurements. Okay, so how to measure the threads. Okay, either it may be the external threads or internal threads. Okay, so which are the concepts are there that we are going to study over here. Okay, that will look of we'll see which are the concepts are covered in this syllabus of model number 3. Terminology of screw threads, measurements of major diameters, minor diameters, okay, of the threads, pitch, angle, effective diameters of the screw thread by 2 wire and 3 wire method. Okay, so these are the derivative methods are there, that is the 2 wire and the 3 wire method, that's we are going to see in this model number 3. Okay, then afterwards the best size of wires. Okay, and then we are going to see the screw thread gauges and tool marks of the microscope. So these are the some measuring instruments which are being used for the calibration, or you can tell to check the threads. Okay, so that we are going to study in this model number 3. This is a half portion of the model number 3, that is the measurements of the screws, threads and the gears, and the remaining half portion in that the gear tooth measurements are there. That means the teeth of an gears are there, that's we are going to measure. Okay, according to its terminology. Tooth thickness we are going to measure. Tooth thickness measurements are there using a constant Chorotte method. Then addendum comparator method is there, okay, for checking the gear tooth measurements. Base tangent method, measurements of the pitch of the gear teeth, concentric runout and its wallet profile. Okay, and gear roll test for an composite error. So these are the some of the concepts which are been covered in the model number 3, that's we are going to study over here and we are going to check. So see, model number 3 is totally depend on the threads measurements and the gear measurements. Now I hope you all know that the threads are been which are been continuously been used, okay, for the bolting, nut bolt system or the screws. Okay, the threads are used in different what we can say different systems. Okay, so the continuous frequently uses of the threads for the fixtures, okay, for opening and the closings of the bolts. So there are the more possibilities due to the friction between the bolts or the nuts. Okay, the wear and tear occurs in the threads, due to which the size of the threads are been reduced. Okay, to monitor such difference between the thread size, okay, or to monitor the pitch between the two threads, okay, that has to be done continuously, so that if you are having the monitoring of the particular threads, so that the threads tightness or the frictions will maintains properly. If you are not in and properly monitoring the threading system, okay, so at that times what happens, there are the possibilities for the loose tightness or the frictions, loose tightness or the fixture. Okay, the fixtures may not been give the proper result for the holding of an components during the machinings and everywhere. So lots of applications are there of a threads system for the clamping purpose, okay, and bolting purpose. So many are continuous calibration should be there, continuous observation should be there, continuous monitoring should be there of the strength of the threads as well as the fitness of the threads and the dimensions has to be done. So there should be some of the measuring instruments should be there, or there is some methods are there for checking the thread sizes, okay, before after manufacturing, okay, or checking immediately after manufacturing, okay, otherwise continuously monitoring that particular threading system, okay. So there are different methods are there, that all methods we are going to study in this module number 3, okay. 2 wire method is there, 3 wire method is there, the best size wires also we are going to study, which method is been best one for checking, okay. Tool markers microscope is there, okay. Screw thread gauges are there, with the help of the gauges you can identify. Hello, what happened? Hello, my voice is not audible. Hello, please reply, my voice is audible or not? Hello, hello Vijay, my voice is audible or not? Okay, so this all things we are going to study in this one, and in the module number 3 the another half portion is regarding the gear teeth measurement. So you know the gears are been one of the transmission mechanism which is used in each and every machines most of the time, maximum time, okay. So the mechanism for the transmission of the power, the gear is one of the best one, okay. So the gears are mashing with each other, so the continuous mashing of the gears with each others occurs and huge frictions between the two gears, okay. So the contacts of the two gears with each others makes the possibilities of wear and tear at a higher side, okay. So once the gear mashings, once the gear teeth starts to wear over there, okay, if it is with the unmonitorized, if you are not monitoring the gear teeth sizes, so what will happen, the mashing between the two gears will doesn't happen, and this whatever the required amount of the power transmission is to be done by that particular gear can be cannot able to transfer or can be stopped over there. For that reason, the size of the gear has to be monitorized. If any variation has there, that has to be calibrated by the machining purpose, or any other methods are there, okay, by which you can calibrate the teeth of the gears, okay. So the thickness of the teeth of that gears has to be measured, okay. This is one of the important calibration method. So how you are going to measure the teeth, okay, that we are going to studies in this module. Addendum comparator method is there, or best tangential method is there, okay. Measurements of the pitch are there, concentric runs out and wallet profiles of the gear cutting side profile is been there, okay. Gear metrology is there, okay. This all the concepts which are there, okay, related to the gear teeth in these concepts that we are going to study in the module number 3. So in a 2 wire and the 3 wire system of the threading, there are some of the simple derivations are there, okay. As per that derivations, you have to identify or solve out the problems on that basis, okay. We are going to follow, okay. Size. So in MCW already I have covered the module number 3, okay. MCW already I have shared the notes in the metal casting and welding process WhatsApp group, as well as the lecture videos also, okay. That also I have shared in that group, okay. So today we will start with the module number 3. Let us see what is the module number 3 with the terminology of screw threads and major diameters and the minor diameters, pitch angles, effective diameters. So this all concept we are going to study now. Sujit, my voice was not audible. No, before no, you have to tell, no, you have to message if it not audible, okay. So I will What's on your screen? Okay, screw threads. Okay, now we'll see the introduction regarding the screw threads. The introduction to the screw threads. A screw thread comprises an helical groove of a specified cross section shape. The cross sections of an helical groove is called as the form of the thread. Okay, so everybody you have seen the threads of the screws which are in a helical shape. Okay, there are numbers of minor error arising in the screw threads measurements which have their own original in the specification of the threads. Okay, and for this reason the terminologies employed must be precise. The screw threads are essentially used in fastening, and the threads of this natures are simple in design and easy to produce. The most common form of the thread is an V, although there are severe variations of these forms are available. Another function of the screw thread is to transmit the power. For example, a lead screw of an lathe machine, a screw jack, etc. Okay. So, apart from this, the screw threads are used in measuring device like micrometer. The form of an screw threads influence the function it has to perform. The aim of a screw thread's dimensions control is to ensure the mechanical strength which governed by the amount of the flank contact rather than by the fits in the thread hole. Hence, it is necessary to control the dimension of the threads. So, see the screw threads. Okay. So, see which form of a thread it is. So, you have seen so many different types of threads, that are V thread, square thread, helical thread. Okay. So, these are the different types of shapes which are given for the threading angle, okay, or the threads. Okay. So, that shapes are called as a form of thread. Okay. So, which form of thread it is? It is a helical form. Which form of thread it is? It is a square form. Which form of thread it is? It is a V form. Okay. On this form, the particular applications of that threads are been identified or it works. Okay. This is the first thing. Now, secondly, we will go with the applications of the thread. Where are the threads are being used? The threads are usually used for fitness, clamping purpose, okay, fastening purpose. Okay. Another thing is that they also majorly works in the transmission of the powers. Okay. In the lathe machine, you have seen the lead screw is there, in on where the threads are there, the carriage is been moving, by which the power is been transmitted from the gear transmission system to the thread, which may allows the carriage to move in a linear directions. Okay. So, this is what the threads are been in. As you have seen the screw jack, in the screw jack also where the screws threads are there, by which the rotation of the threads you can lift the heavy loads. For example, the car jack, you have seen the jack of the car, while when the car is been punctured, the car is been lifted by the jacks, or the screw jacks are been usually used. Okay. So, these are the some of the major applications of a screw. Apart from this, the screw threads are been used in measuring device like micrometers. You have seen in the micrometers the screws are being used, as well as in the telescopes also the screws are being used for the adjustment of the scale, for zooming and zoom in and zoom out of the lenses, or the has been adjusted by the some of the screw. So, these are the various applications where the screws are been severely used and are applicable. So, for that reason the size of the screws and the shape of the screws plus the dimension of the screws has to be monitored continuously because the application is very vast, due to which if there is a changes or the variation within the dimensions of that particular screws, so obviously it directly affects on its applications. Okay. So, these are the various applications are there by which the output of that particular screw, the result of that particular screw for that particular object, for that particular application will not satisfactory or up to the mark. Okay. So, the continuous measurements of the screw is been done and identified. Now, whatever the problem rises in the screw, okay, or the errors are been rising in the screw, they are having its own original. Original means what? Each and every particular threads having its own original means what? There are different shape of the threads are having the different particular, if you can tell as an terminology, each and every terminology or the angles of the thread. For example, you can take the flange angle, thread angle is there, axis of a thread is there, major diameter is there, pitch diameter is there, minor diameter is there. Okay, depth of the threads are there, addendum and dedendum size are there. So, these are everything are been what you can say terminology while doing the or manufacturing or making the threads has to be keep in the mind, and as per keep in the mind, or there should be no variation in any of the terminology of this screw thread. If there is a variation between this type of screw threads terminology, so it is directly affects on the application of the screw and the errors comes out in a major quantity. Okay. Now, let us see the terminology of when screw threads. Okay. When the helical groove is formed on the external thread is called as an external thread. Even the when the helical groove is formed on the internal of a circular hole is called as an internal thread. So, this is what the difference between the external and the internal thread. Okay. So, the helical groove is been formed, okay, external of any bar. So, that is called as an external. If helical grooves are formed within the hollow pipe in internal, that is called as an internal. Okay. If there is a single helical groove, then it is called as an single start thread. Okay. If n helical running sides by sides around the cylinder, then they are known as an n start thread or multi start threads. A taper threads may be defined in the same way, but it forms on an exterior of an right circular cone or on the internal of an right circular conical hole. So, see the taper form is also there. You have seen the screws which are in the taper form, okay, as well as the bolt which are having the threads in the straight form. Okay, the screws having the threads in a taper form, because the screw body is in a taper form. So, that types of threads are called as an taper threads, where the body where the threading is to be done, that is done on the taper threading side, okay, as well as if the internal hole is there which is having the internal taper shape or any angle is given to that external body in which the helical grooves are being done. So, such types of threadings are called taper external threadings. Okay. Now, let us see the terminology points which are there, okay, one by one. The axis of the thread. Okay. So, I will show the diagram over here. The axis of the thread, this is an imaginary line running longitudinally through the center of the screw thread. So, see over here you can see this is the axis of the line. Over at the bottom they have given, but at the center the line is there. This is the center line which is called as an axis of a line. You can see over here axis of a line, okay, which is an imaginary. Imaginary means you have to imagine that both the from the top of the thread to the bottom of the thread, the line which is dividing the thread into two parts, equal parts, okay, that is called as an axis of an thread. That angle of threads, this is the angle between the two adjacent flange or the slope of the thread measures on the angular plane. So, this is this is a flange from where the bolt is been the another bolt is been nut is been come into contact with the bolt if it is having the threading. Okay. So, which is the face comes in the contact with the another face while the meshing. So, this angle is called as an thread angle. Okay. Then you can see over this is a flange angle between this consecutive. So, this is what the pitch the two consecutive distance the distance between two consecutive pitch between two teeth is called as an pitch. 1 and 2 distance between two consecutive teeth is called as an pitch. From over here you can see the distance at the center of this teeth and then center of this teeth, it is called as an pitch. Okay. And this is the flange angle, you can see from this center axis of this pitch to this teeth, whatever the angle is there, that is called as an flank angle. Okay. This angle, the flank angle between the individual flank and the particular to the axis of the threads which passes through the verticals of the fundamental rights, it is commonly fundamental triangle. So, this is what the fundamental triangle is being generated over here. Okay. When you take the center axis of the pitch. Then next we will see with the lead. This lead is the axial distance moved by the threaded part when it is given one complete revolution about its axis with respect to the fixed mating thread. Okay. So, over here you can see when it is completely moving with the mated part one revolution, okay, that is called as an lead. Now, let us see the lead angle. On the straight thread, a lead angle is the angle made by the helix of the threads at the pitch line with the plane perpendicular of the axis. Now, you can see over here the helical pitch line is there where any helical threading is coming. So, that is been perpendicular to this axis is called as an lead angle. Okay. Now, the depth of thread, so you can see over here from the top to this bottom, the size of this thread is called as an depth of thread. Okay. Then next axial thickness. Okay. So, this is what the axial thickness is there. Over here you can see this is what the axial thickness is there. Okay. Between the from the center axis to this side, from the center axis the line which is coinciding, okay, that is called as an axial thickness of the gear teeth. Okay. Now you can see over here the conical this one line is given, this is called as an crest. Okay. Over here the conical line is been given from of the gear teeth at the top, this is called as an crest. Okay. The radial distance of an crest or root to the nearest apex of the fundamental angle. Okay. So, this is what the fundamental angle is there. This is the nearest apex, this is the nearest apex or the line is there, that is called as an crest. Addendum for an external thread, this is defined as the radial distance between the major diameter of the pitch line. For the internal threads, this is the radial diameter between the minor diameter. Addendum, this is the radial distance between the pitch line and the minor diameter of the external threads. For the internal threads, this is an radial diameter for the major threads. So, see the dedendum and addendum. What is the dedendum and addendum? It is the center distance. Dedendum is always for the external. This is the line where the major, this is the line this is a line where the major diameter is there. From this major diameter to the center of the axis is called as an addendum in the addendum in the external threading. If you take the internal threading from the minor diameter to the center axis, the addendum comes down over here in the internal threading. If you take the external threading, the addendum makes from the center axis to an minor diameter axis. So, this is called as an addendum. If there is an internal threading, so the addendum will convert from the major to minor diameter axis. So, that portion is called as an addendum. Okay. So, the major diameter of an imaginary circle co-circles with a screw. So, this is what the imaginary circle is there from this center axis. Imaginary, that means you have to imagine this is a circle. So, that circle is called as a major diameter, and the minor diameter is major coincides with touches the rest of the external crest of the, now you can see over here this is the crest, okay, from where the touches the major diameter from this top of the face. Okay. So, this is what the top of the face of this teeth is, the crest from where the major diameter is there. Then the minor diameters of an imaginary cylinder or co-circles with a screw which touches the root of the external threads or crest of the internal threads. It is often referred to the roots or die of the coat. So, this is what the root it is called, from at the top where the gear is there, that is called as a crest, and from the top bottom where the gear is there, that is called as a root. Now, you can see over here this is called as an root, and this line is called as an root over here. Okay. So, the crest and the root, I hope you have understand the difference from the top to the teeth of the base of the gear where the two angle lines are been meeting. Okay. From there to this area to this, okay, from this point, that is called as an apex, from apex point to the teeth, okay, is called as an crest. Over here you can see these two lines of an fundamental triangle. This is what the fundamental triangle is there. Okay. This is what the fundamental triangle is there. In this fundamental triangle, when these two lines are coinciding with each other, okay, from this coinciding point, that is an apex point it is called, from this apex point to this teeth is called as an root. That distance is called as an root, and that particular space is called as an root transactions. Okay. So, the minor diameter is always from the center axis to root apex point, and over here you can see the major diameter is from the apex point A to the crest, that is the upper surface of the teeth. Okay. So, this is what the basic terminology of an screw threads. Now, let us see the types of screw threads, okay, and error in the screw threads. So, the V thread and transmission threads. So, these are the two commonly used threads in nowadays for the different types of applications. Okay. So, I hope you have understand. In the next class we continued with the